Where we were yesterday? Where did we stop? I think these pouches I didn't tell. Yeah. So we were exactly at this point, isn't it? Suspensory ligament of duodenum. I was talking and my voice was not little clear for you all, isn't it? So what did we discuss before that? I was talking about the ligaments, which are nothing but the thickenings of the peritoneum. So, like I'm just repeating the last point as a continuation. We have talked about phrenicocholic ligament. What is the meaning of phrenicocholic? Phrenic means diaphragm, isn't it? From the diaphragm to the left colic flexure, you have a ligament. So this ligament is nothing but phrenicocholic ligament. Okay, we have stopped till here and now I'm continuing. So many times I told you about duodenum, like duodenum has 4 parts, but here we are finding, suppose if you start, this is the pyloric end of the stomach, if you just continue like this, we will have first part, second part, third part and fourth part. Now why I am talking about this duodenum now, because here also we are finding one thickening which is extending from the first part of the duodenum to the fourth part of the duodenum, this peritoneal thickening, which is called as suspensory ligament of duodenum. Hope my voice is audible for you all. Hemalata?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the ligament of Treats. What do we call it as? This ligament extending from the first part of the duodenum to the fourth part of the duodenum. Okay. So this is actually containing a suspensory ligament actually which will hold the duodenojejunal flexure. Because after I asked you to remember that code DJI, duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Okay. So this flexure, the last part of the duodenum, from here you have the ileum. So duodenojejunal flexure. That means from the first part of the duodenum till the duodenojejunal flexure, we have this suspensory ligament of duodenum. Okay. Now, when we were talking about parietal peritoneum, I told you it starts with the umbilicus, it follows the liver, it then follows the stomach, greater omentum, lesser omentum, transverse mesocolon, mesentery, then covering the posterior abdominal wall. Then I told you the journey is continuing by covering the anterior aspect of rectum, then superior and anterior and posterior aspects of the uterus and superior aspect of urinary bladder, and this continues back at the anterior
Umbilicus.
abdominal till umbilicus. Very good. Now see here we have certain pouches formed in the peritoneal cavity. So what are the pouches? Now you see here, this is one peritoneal pouch which is extending between the uterus and rectum anal canal. Okay, so that's why you call it as recto-uterine pouch. This is rectum and this is uterus. So the name of the pouch is recto-uterine pouch. Recto-uterine pouch. Similarly, there is a pouch between the urinary bladder and uterus. Okay, urinary bladder is usually, we use the word vesica to indicate a bag. That's why the name of this pouch is vesico-uterine pouch. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Vesico-uterine pouch is anterior, recto-uterine pouch is posterior. So can you guess before I move to next slide, like what pouch do we have? This is female or male?
Female.
Female. In case of male, what pouch we must be having? Just guess fast.
Vesico
Vesico. Very good, Hansraj. You have tried at least. Very good. Okay, that is rectovesical pouch. I will show in the next slide. Of course, you have just reverted the name, but it is right. Okay, the pouches in male, we do not have like uterus here. Directly between the urinary bladder and the rectum, we have rectovesical pouch. Okay.
Vesicum means urinary bladder, ma'am.
Yes, beta. Vesicle means, vesicle is bag. Okay, vesicle word is used to represent urinary bladder. Okay, between the, that's why here what did we use? Vesico-uterine pouch in case of female. Isn't it? Recto-uterine pouch in case of female, whereas between the urinary bladder and rectum we use the word rectovesical pouch. Lokesh, in females or males, the peritoneal cavity is open. In which gender you find the peritoneal cavity is open and where?
Male.
Yo. Did you open my PowerPoint and study better? Ansraj, is it open in male
Ma'am,
or female?
ma'am.
Where is
Female
it?
for female.
Exactly.
Ova
Very
collection.
For the ova collection. Very good. Lokesh, it is in females, it is open at the ends of the fimbriae of fallopian tube. It's open because it has to catch the ova and transfer it into the ampulla part of fallopian tube. Anyhow, this point we will be repeating when we do female reproductive system, uterus and fallopian tube. Nothing to worry. Okay, you can just compare the pouches in the female and male. Lokesh, can you make, this is female sagittal section of pelvis. What is the name of this visceral organ? Okay, this is pubic symphysis. This is anterior. What is the name of this structure? Ritika?
Urinary bladder.
Very good. What is this?
I'm not sure, ma'am.
Uterus.
Uterus. Okay.
Uterus. What is this? The diagram is reversed. That's it, beta. What is this? Ah. Rectum, anal. Can you please repeat once? What is the name of this bone?
Pubic symphysis.
Then,
Urinary bladder.
then,
Uterus.
then.
Rectum.
This is anal canal. Okay. So between, actually in the previous slide we have seen in reverse direction, beta. Maybe that's why you were confused. Okay.
Yes,
Okay. This is, you have seen from the right side. The other thing you have seen from the left side. Same thing. Nothing. What is the name of this pouch between the urinary bladder and uterus? Hemalata.
Vesico-uterine pouch.
Then between these two?
Recto-uterine pouch.
Okay, this is the sagittal section of female pelvis or male pelvis?
Male.
Male. Okay, then what is the name of the pouch here?
Rectovesical pouch.
Chavi, can you tell me the name of these visceral organs? What is the name of this structure? Okay, Lokesh, what is the name of this structure? What is this bag?
Prostate.
This is prostate, but I am asking very
Yes,
simple.
ma'am.
What is this? Enough.
Urinary bladder.
This is urinary bladder. What is this?
Rectum.
Rectum.
So between the urinary bladder and rectum anal canal, what is the name of fold of peritoneum, Lokesh? What is the name of this peritoneal fold?
Rectovesical pouch.
Rectovesical pouch. Are you understanding or not? I took all 3 days for peritoneum so that you understand very clearly. Lokesh,
Yes, ma'am.
what is the name of this structure?
Urinary bladder.
What is this?
Seminal.
This is rectum, beta.
Rectum.
This is rectum and this is anal canal.
Anal
Okay.
canal.
So between the urinary bladder and rectum anal canal, are you finding the fold of peritoneum here?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the name of this fold?
Rectovesical pouch.
Okay. Can you guess the clinical significance of these pouches? Suppose if there is any infection in the peritoneal cavity. So these are the potential spaces where the collection can take place. Okay, pus, blood, internal bleeding is there. The blood due to gravity will accumulate here. Pus will accumulate here. Edema fluid, ascitic fluid, so many things, isn't it? So these are the pouches what we have seen. We have seen in pelvis. Okay, this is female pelvis and this is male pelvis. Okay, so these are large foci. They are clinically important because internal abdominal hernias also can take place here. Okay, that means abdominal visceral organs can just herniate. Okay, in this free spaces. Okay, whatever I told you is written here. Rectovesical pouch. These are all 3 marks question, but all these 3 pouches. Recto means rectum, vesicle means urinary bladder. So between these 2 visceral organs, you are finding the fold of peritoneum. So what do we find here? As Lokesh was trying to tell us, we are finding seminal vesicles and ductus deferens here. Okay. So this is the lowest part of the peritoneal cavity in case of male. Okay. So rectouterine pouch is also called as Douglas pouch. 3 marks question, very, very important. Douglas pouch, which we are finding between the rectum and uterus. Okay, so anteriorly this pouch is having the posterior surface of the uterus. Posteriorly, this pouch presents the anterior surface of rectum. Okay. So the importance of this Douglas pouch is, in case of embryology, we will come across a condition called as placenta previa. What is placenta previa? Placenta previa is a condition where placenta is lying at the lower part in the cervix. Sometimes it will be obliterating this part, the internal os of the cervix. So in such cases, it is very dangerous to undertake pervaginal examination. Pervaginal examination is, we are inserting the fingers through the vagina and we are trying to reach the external os of the cervix in order to check for confirmation of pregnancy and also during the process of delivery whether the head of the baby is engaged or not. So in such circumstances, if there is placenta previa, we cannot undertake PV, pervaginal examination. So in such cases, we have to pass our finger through anal orifice, reach into the rectum, and we can just push our hand in the anterior wall of the rectum to check if the head of the baby is engaged or not. Safe side. Okay. So this our fingers will be almost reaching this Douglas pouch when we do per rectal examination. We can also check if there is any fluid accumulation or if there is any tumor in the rectouterine pouch by undertaking the per rectal examination. If you insert your fingers through rectum anal canal, you call it as per rectal. If you insert your fingers through vagina, you call it as per vaginal examination. Okay. So these examinations we are going to elaborate when we are doing the uterus, rectum, anal canal, those organs again. For now you understand this is again the dependent part in case of female, the rectouterine pouch, okay, which is seen between the anterior surface of rectum and posterior surface of the uterus and also a part of vagina. Okay. So vesicouterine pouch is a pouch which is seen between the superior surface of the urinary bladder and the antero-inferior surface of the uterus. Okay, so this is the vesicouterine pouch. Horizontal disposition is not required. Okay, so I will take you to next topic, that is stomach. Okay.